The cost to park in Portland is climbing. City leaders are set to enact the biggest meter fee increase in Portland's history on July 1st, less than a month away. And it might not stop there. So what's going on with the Bureau of Transportation in a financial crisis? If you work or visit downtown and get here by car, you'll soon feel this extra pinch. Yellow tickets dot the windshields of cars in downtown Portland. The only defense, feeding the meter. In less than a month, the price to park will jump, with Portland enacting the largest parking meter increase in the city's history.
Oh my gee. That's getting a little bit outrageous.
An hour of parking in downtown Portland will soon cost $3.60, including a planned price hike and new fees recently added by Portland City Council. Just 3 years ago, in 2022, it cost $2.20 to park for an hour in the city's core. The rising costs are similar in other parts of the city.
That's quite a considerable jump in a short amount of time.
Portland is making more money on parking year after year, but the city's Bureau of Transportation says it's in deeper trouble than ever. A transportation budget presentation sparked this reaction from Councilwoman Olivia Clark.
I have to say this is probably the most depressing presentation I've had since I've been here. It's a shame, and I'm embarrassed by the condition of our assets and what we can do about it.
So facing a $38 million PBOT budget deficit and the Bureau's now depleted general fund, Mayor Keith Wilson is betting on parking rate hikes, extending meter hours until 10 p.m., and a major transportation package from Salem, all to avoid sweeping cuts.
We have a funding system that is fatally flawed. Doing nothing is not a course of action. If it happens to be parking meter downtown, sure, it's gone up and we're very sorry about that, but it's understandable because we've got to maintain our infrastructure.
But will it be enough? With rising rates and other changes, people aren't parking like they used to.
People don't want to meet me down here. They don't want to drive down here because of, the parking.
PBOT projects to bring in about $30 million from parking meters this fiscal year, and revenues have grown steadily since the COVID-19 pandemic. But the city still hasn't matched the $35 million it made from meters in 2018, when parking rates were nearly half the price citywide, showing major changes in parking behavior and an overall lower demand.
We're certain that that number will start coming back.
You believe more people are going to be parking in Portland?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing the trends.
Then there are people like Kyle Davey.
I'm downtown in the Portland area all the time.
He owns a vending machine business, making dozens of quick stops around the city, and he's honest.
If I'm just going to be there for 10 or 15 minutes on a very short business trip, then I typically skip the Parking Kitty app, yeah.
A 15-minute stop in downtown will cost $1.35 starting in July, nearly double the 70 cents it cost 3 years ago. Davey says it's a business decision to roll the dice, especially with fees going up.
I'm sure I would be up in the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars if I had paid every single time that I'm parked.
Instead, he's gotten a couple tickets, saved money in the long run, and believes other people think the same way.
About half the cars on this street have a yellow ticket under their windshield wiper right now, so I'm thinking that most people are probably taking that calculated risk.
Ultimately, he's right. Portland doesn't make money on parking tickets. Revenue has stayed flat for years, and it costs PBOT roughly twice as much to pay people to give out tickets. Mayor Wilson says parking rate and hour changes will raise $6.8 million. PBOT projects close to double that, about $12 million more in revenue.
How confident do you feel in those projections that you'll get that with the parking hikes?
Absolutely confident.
There's also something else. Wilson and PBOT Director Millicent Williams are thinking about adding a new fee for Portlanders.
We're looking at everything.
A transportation utility fee. Other cities in Oregon add flat charges on utility bills to pay for road repair. This would add to rising costs. Portland already plans to increase city water and sewer bills by 6.3% starting this July.
What's the likelihood we'd see a proposal for a transportation utility fee, say, in the next year?
Yeah, right now, Evan, we have a budget, and I have 12 counselors to work with. Let's save that for another day.
Lisa Stopp says a transportation utility fee sounds challenging for many.
Hit with that, and then also hit with the higher parking fees and probably higher ticket fees. It's a huge ding.
Facing rising costs.
What do you think, Pepper?
She says she might think twice about driving.
Walks are free. This is true.
All right, let's pause for a moment on that utility fee idea. It's been something that I've been looking into for a few months now. They are not technically taxes. Utility fees do not require voter approval, and they can be adjusted and increased at will by government leaders, usually to help with budget shortfalls. As part of a previous investigation, I found nearly 36 Oregon cities with at least one of these utility fees, ranging from $2 a month all the way up to $45 a month, funding things like transportation and public safety. Here are a few examples. Gresham has one that's $15 a month, mostly for police and fire. $10 a month in Hillsborough for transportation, nearly $17 a month in Lake Oswego for street repairs, and $40 a month in West Lynn for transportation costs. The full list of utility fees I uncovered is available on our website, kgw.com. The city of Portland could be the next to join. By the way, parking fees are the second biggest revenue source for PBOT. The top driver is the state's gas tax, which has dwindled for years but is likely to be raised as part of the big transportation package in the legislature, which, by the way, still has not been released, though we're hearing it could come as soon as tomorrow, giving lawmakers less than a month to get it to the governor's desk before the session ends on June 29th. So what do you think about the parking rate hikes in Portland? Or maybe you have something to say about those utility fees. Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail 503-226-5090.